Heroes leap into action. We have some more Mitsurugi action, and is that Salamangreat? Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we have some hero action for you out here. Now I was waiting to see who was going to come up with the biggest inclusion that you can possibly have in the world of heroes out here. And I don't think that this is a bad build, actually. If you were looking for cool ways to use the hero cards, especially with the evil heroes out here trying to make a build to make this work, I think this is a good baseline, actually. You do see that you still are doing a lot of the same old tricks that you were doing with a lot of the old hero stuff. You know, unfortunately, Plasma is still going to be your dedicated boss monster out here. But now, you know, you've got new ways to kind of make up for things. Now you've got the Dark Contact, or Dark Fusion actually built into the deck. You know, you also do see that we've got good old Evil Assault out here now kind of aiding us and our time of need as a hero player. And of course, you know, Dark Supremacy also being an absurdly broken card kind of help us do our thing. Now, I mean, including, you know, new stuff in the deck. I mean, you have one Doom Prison in the main, so if you're worried about getting 3 of these, looks like you only need 1. You know, in terms of the Infernal Raider, this card, in my opinion, is optional. And then, of course, you know, Toxic Bubble kind of being that free little extender, but, you know, 1 Secret Rare, you know, 1 Ultra Rare, and, you know, 2 Ultra Rares in total for what you got to pick up to modify your already existing hero strategy to build something with this. Also, 45 cards is fine. You know, unfortunately, while you're looking at heroes, you have a lot more cards that you've got to decide on, you know, what to kind of build into the deck and to find that best optimal strategy. And, well, you know what? I think we found it. Also, sliding the D-Force down here, because having Plasma be that revolving door boss monster is always going to be really good. Also, I gotta give a shout out to this card. Card is actually pretty freaking good for what it needs to do. All right, next up here, we have some Ryzeal Mitsurugi action for you. Now, for those of you that have been, you know, kind of paying attention to the whole Mitsurugi hype train out here, there has been a lot of talk about Mitsurugi. Like, I don't think that you can, you know, be in this space right now without not having some sort of idea as to what's going on with the Mitsurugi stuff. Because Konami said, hey, you know what, let's print a level 4 engine. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how broken we can make this. You know, it gave the deck the ability to ritual summon from the deck, which was kind of a cool little thing. I actually quite like this idea. But with that influx of power, you know, kind of comes the, all right, so what can we do for this build? I do see that we are only playing 1 copy of Sword. I don't know if I like this. I feel like at times you still want to do the full combo line for the Ryzeal stuff, you know, especially only 2 ice in here. The fact that this build also is sitting at 45 cards, maximizing on Mulcharmies in here, nonetheless, as well, is kind of interesting, especially, you know, playing the triple Nihilus. I'm assuming that this environment has an abnormally large amount of malice. Because if you're dealing with truly that much malice, that it forces you to main deck Meowls or Nihilus down here, that's a tall tale interesting sign of things. Also, yeah, the triple Nadir Servant in here getting you access into the Maximus is pretty good, but you've just gotta decide which line you're gonna have to do things. I have a feeling that there's gonna be some really awkward times where you're gonna have to Nadir, and then you know why you'd be able to get into this. You're not gonna be able to go down these lines. So I feel like with this build being designed the way it is, it feels like it's trying to give you some other options, which is fine. Also, this card is really, really freaking good in this deck. Like, absurdly. Woo! So we have some Salamangreat for you here. Now, I gotta tell you, out of Sneak Peek Weekend, you will see all sorts of cool little decks come out of the woodwork out here and attempt to do something. Now, on that very same discussion point, though, not every deck is going to be rushing out playing the new cards. You know, while the new cards kind of bring a nice little flavor and shift into the meta, you've got to remember that not everything is going to be all, you know, interesting and nice. Now, what's very interesting and nice about this list, though, is the fact that we're actually playing some Speedroid cards in here. Yes, that's right, everybody. We're back on the Terratop special summon. Go grab the Takum Tumborg special, make the Mirage Stalio, start, full combo. That's all without a commitment of a normal summon. And to be honest, even if your opponent chokes this out, I mean, like, if you got one of the other, you got the other level 3 here, or, you got a Gazelle starter. Well, I mean, it's not like you're not getting into the Mirage Stalio by converting your normal summon into that. That's literally not that unheard of, to have the fail-safe backup line in order to do things. Now, what is also interesting is this right here. They are so sick of Fiendsmith cards down here that they've actually gone to playing the Light Imprisoning Mirror. Now, that's not all that surprising to see Light Imprisoning Mirror actually show up, but in a deck like Salad, who's already packing in, we got the deck locked in, you got the Lanciers, you got the Drolls down here, you have so much to, stop all of these choices in the meta. That's pretty telling, actually. So, also, yes, we got the Pyro Phoenixes in here. And, of course, the Raging Phoenix. This is still going to be really cool. Also, 3 of this. It's kind of refreshing to see. Okay. Our next list here is actually some Ryu-Ge action sporting off the General Ryo. Now, you shouldn't be too surprised to see more decks are kind of catching wind of General Ryo out here, because it's able to be brought off of this incredibly stupid card out here. Now, I mean, you're playing probably one of the more interesting combinations of ideas to be present here. I see, of course, we're going with the triple Sosei Ryu-Ge in here, and of course, two copies of Cairo, your 1 Cairo and 2 Genro, so yeah, the 2 Hakva, the 1 Imva, and the 2 Kaiva. And of course, I see we're doing some Deep Sea Diva action in here as well. Now, I mean, the revolving door is just going to tell me that, we want to get to the Virutuses and keep the power pressure on the opponent so that, they can't do anything. But also, you get to one big synchro, you can kind of start going down the lines of bouncing off of things. Now, suddenly, the Crimson Dragon's looking a lot more powerful, just to give you some of those options. And, of course, I see for this option tree, we have the smallest Centurion package in the world in here, of what, one stand-up, the 1 Primera, and the 1 Gargoyle, just to give you these lines to be able to jump off of, so you can put that synchro pressure on your opponent, and they're going to just kind of have a bad time kind of answering some of the lines that are present in this deck. I didn't actually realize how good that, using the Ryu-Ge stuff as an actual, not dinosaur deck, but instead, getting access to Lancia could actually kind of prevail for you. Now, we don't have a side deck for this. You don't really get the chance to kind of look into the world of things, but I'm assuming, it's things like Lancia, things to kind of stop, the power of Malice from actually kind of overwhelming you, or, Ryzeal takeaways, just the standard stuff to kind of control the meta so that things can work out a little bit more in your favor. And, ooh, we have some White Forest for you. Now, what's very interesting about this is no new cards in this. I figured that if you were going to be playing a deck like this, that you would be, taking a look at some of the new card pool, trying to decide, hey, is some of the new stuff going to help the strategy? But when I was talking to them about this, they're like, don't really need any new cards, which is kind of interesting, because I swear that the Azamina package would be broken in this deck, being able to set up the Omni Negate and, be able to protect your investment of the Runick Fountain, in my opinion, feels absolutely good. But no, the big thing here is you're just going to be using the synchro plays, the recyclability of Diabel, kind of pull back those key resources. You have your board breaker cards kind of set up and do as you need to. And of course, Daigusto Emerald, just kind of get things going as you need to. And because, we're one of the very unfair fun decks in the room here, you do see that we do have the ability to roll out the skill drain to set up the floodgates and tell our opponent, unfortunately, you will not be having a good time today, Duelist, as you can punish your opponent. Truthfully, outside of that, you've got a lot of the same Runick options available. I know Runick has felt pretty dead since skill drain went away, but the game has also progressively been power creeping very, very hard. Getting Fountain to stick around, or, getting things to go the way that they need to, for a deck like this. It's much, much harder now than it was in the past. So what do you guys think about all these cool decks? Please, so comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.